What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Hella Handmade Creations video. I have quite the chunky one for you all this month. The shop is currently open as of today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Starting off with Arcana Lacquer. This is domestic witchery, described as a light lavender base with blue, green, purple shimmer and micro holographic flakes. This one is 13, capped at 180 bottles, and it is part of their cozy gaming series. Domestic Witchery has a somewhat plump formula to it, though it is quite flat on its dry down, so I chose to take it up to 3 coats. Normal for me, that dry down time is very forgiving in that regard, and it dries down to no texture with those flakes, so I think any top coat's going to be just fine. This is quite shimmery in person, and those flakes are the type that give you that flat type of holographic effect. Art is Nails, Making Memories is a peach pink shimmer base with multi-chrome effect at certain angles in a bronze to gold way. This one's $13.50, capped at 100 bottles, and it's part of their Cornish Cove series. Making Memories is a jelly type of base, and I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats with it. It does have a plump feel on the application, but I didn't have any issues with over buildup on that 3rd layer. So just throwing that out there, I think most of you should go up to 3 coats with it just to maximize all that shimmery, flaky power. I didn't have any texture or over thirstiness. So again, this one, any top coat's going to be just fine. BCB Lacquers, This Mask Is My Badge, is a purple base with purple to blue shifting shimmer and a red, orange, gold magnetic pull. This one's $13.75, capped at 300, and it's part of the Spider-Verse series. This has an excellent opacity to it, very easy to reach full coverage. I almost wanted to classify this as a 1 coater. I chose to do 2 lighter coats for how I typically apply, and that's just how I like to wear 1 coaters too, just maximize all the good stuff. Especially using a magnetic polish, you want to have as much pigment on your nails as possible. So I would suggest 2 thin coats, a glossy top coat, and you're good to go. This one was very user-friendly on the magnetic pigment. And this month, BCB is also bringing us a Behemoth Cuticle Oil pen. That's what I call them, in the scent You Want In. This is in the scent of greens, cassis leaves, violet, and aloe vera. Price is $8.50, and there's a cap of 100. To my nose, I'm getting the strongest scent to this is the aloe vera, and quite a bit of a very green, garden fresh type of leaves smell. If you like those like kitcheny types of green scents, this one is definitely going to be up your alley. I'm not really getting a whole lot of the violet per se. So to my nose at least, it's aloe, the cassis leaves, and just green, very, very green. Like if you stuck your nose in a kitchen planter, it's kind of like that. It's just green. That's the best way I could say it. This is in a 6 milliliter cuticle oil pen. I have talked about this cuticle oil a ton on the channel. Most of you at this point know the drill on this. It is very travel friendly. This one, I'm kind of on the fence about how I feel about the scent, to be completely honest. But if you are into that sort of earthy green smell, I could totally see it. As a bakery lover, I'm kind of going to say the jury's out on this one for me. Cracked Polish Nonsensical World is a soft, dusky lilac with blue shimmer. This one's 13, capped at 350 bottles, and it's part of her Down the Indie Rabbit Hole series. As I was going through and getting my info and stuff together for this voiceover, I was shocked that this one's still in stock. To me, this is one of those like staple Halloween colors. Every fall, this is like typically what I gravitate towards, these ghostly type of colors. This one is excellent. Formula is excellent. I'm going to suggest 2 to 3 coats, your preference. It dries on semi-flat. I think any top coat works the best. And you can see here, this is just chef's kiss on that creamy but shimmery factor. Cuticula, the closest thing we have to magic, is an aqua base with aqua blue green iridescent flakes and a scattering of green sparkly shimmer. This one's 13 with no cap, and it's part of her Books to TV or Movies series. So this is one of those flaky bombs that Cuticula does so well. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats to maximize all of that flaky power. Those of you with nubbins, you might be able to get away with 2 coats, but I'm a 3 coat gal, and this one I think popped the best at that. You may want to use a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat together just to help plump this one up, as it does have a very flat dry down. And Cuticula's Encore polish, Trident of Neptune, is an encore from her series in 2020, inspired by Aquaman. This one is a deep blackened plum base with aqua and gold metallic flakes. It's 13 with no cap. This is a very creamy, smooth type of formula, easy to build up to opacity. I'm going to suggest 3 light coats. If you did 2 heavier coats, I could see it working, but flaky bombs are like shimmers to me, and I will forever apply them with the maximum amount of coats possible just to kind of have as much flakes going on the nail. This is like a ton of tiny little confetti pieces across the polish, really pretty. And I would also suggest a glitter smoother with this too, not necessarily because of texture, but because it is quite thirsty in how it dries down. Dom, We Are Hunters, is a purple jelly base with pink, gold, green shifting shimmer and a mix of silver and light blue reflective glitters. This one's $13.50, capped at $300, and it's part of her new K-pop Demon Hunters series. This is another one that I'm kind of surprised that y'all haven't snatched all those bottles up yet. It is beautiful, and the video and my full hand shot and my photos, I think, represent it really well to what I'm seeing in person. The shimmer is just as strong. I'm going to strongly suggest 3 light coats with this. Build it up, use the texture from your coats to get on the next coat, and you're good to go. Glitter smoother is a must. This is so shimmery, sparkly in person. Gin and Berries, the Showstopper, is a cornflower blue jelly base with pink to gold and blue to green large particle shimmer and scattered holographic flake sparkle. This one's $13.75, capped at $3.50, and it's part of her Great British Bake Off series. This has a plump type of formula to it, so it's one of those few exceptions that I stopped at 2 coats, 2 normal for me coats, mind you. I didn't need to use a glitter smoother or anything, as those flakes dried down nice and flat with no texture or anything, so any top coat of choice will work the best. Lurid Lacquer, I don't know where to begin with this one. Sartorial Dilemmas of the Winged Male is a bright blue base with large particle aurora shimmer that shifts from blue to purple and silver light reflective glitter. This one's $14.50, capped at 1,175 bottles, and it's part of her Court of Tropes and Cliches series. Y'all sold this out this morning. It did get a restock, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is one of my top 3 polishes I have swatched for 2025. Do not let it get out of your claws. It is beautiful, easy to hit opacity. Do 2 coats, glitter smoother, and a glossy top coat, and it is stunning in person, even if you're not a blue biased person like myself. Nailed It, I'll Show You Lightening is a deep maroon base with striking blue to purple magnetic pigment and strong red to gold shifting shimmer. This is $13.50, capped at $300, and it's part of her Avatar: The Last Airbender series. This is another excellent magnetic this month. It is so good on that opacity, very much like the BCB in that it's almost like heavily flirting with being a 1-coat wonder as well. I chose to do 2 thin coats, again, very much like that BCB. I wanted as much magnetic pigment as possible on the nail. So yeah, just do it like that and you're good to go. This is another one that is very user-friendly. I had no issues needing to wait any extra 10 seconds or anything. The magnetic pigment snapped to the magnet very easily, and this has a ton of shift to it as well. It will dry down to a very flat metallic type state, so make sure you're using a plumping glossy top coat. Night Owl Lacquer, Don't Feed a Guy a Sponge, is a mustard curly base with multichrome flakes that shift gold, chartreuse, and green. This one is $13 with no cap, and it's part of her Bob's Burgers series. I do agree with that official description. This is a true curly type of formula. It's quite squishy if you tend to go heavy-handed like what I'm doing on that second coat. And I'm going to suggest stopping at 2 coats. I did 1 thin layer and then I did that normal for me coat, and I thought it was just fine. You may want to use a glitter smoother with this, as those flakes will give you a bit of thirstiness on your top coat of choice. Pampered Polishes, Lock You in My Fungeon, is a maroon jelly base with gold flakes, silver holographic pigment, and gold holographic pigment. This one's $13.50 with no cap, and is part of her Wreck-It Ralph series. This is a true jelly formula. I don't want to necessarily classify it as a true sheer, but I will say it heavily flirts with being that type of finish. If you have a prominent free edge, or any type of free edge for that matter, I think in any type of lighting situation, you might see a peekaboo or a smile line effect. I think my full hand shot gives you a good idea of that. So with that respect, I would use a blurring base if that bugs you. I would go up to 3 thin coats with this and possibly a glitter smoother, as those little glitters gave me some texture. Patty Lopez has a duo again for us this month, part of her Famous Painters series. This first one is Turbulence Burning. It's a blurple base with blue to purple Aurora shimmer. You can grab it for $13.50 individually, capped at $100, or you can get the duo for $27 with a cap of $100 as well. Turbulence Burning is a metallic type of shimmery feel and application. It's going to have that harsh dry down to it. So wearing it by itself, I would suggest a plumping base coat of some sort, a thicker one, and go up to 3 coats with it. This is strong on that shimmer factor, and you can see the base itself is very jelly-like in that regard. And then the other part of the duo is Giraffe. This is a topper that has a mix of iridescent and multichrome flakes. Now, I chose to show this with the polish it's intended to be a duo with, and I realized that Turbulence Burning is kind of dark for you all to see the mix of flakes going throughout it. So on the Willet Topper segment, you'll see it over white, but you can see it gives you this almost tiny multichrome flake effect. No texture from it though. Penelope Luz has a duo for us as well. This first part is Wisteria. It's described as a lilac magnetic with a purple base. This one's $13.50, capped at $300, and it's part of her Flower Symphony series. Wisteria has an excellent magnetic formula to it. If you're familiar with BKL's, Bee's Knees Lacquer's Frontier sibling polishes, those magnetics, how smooth they are, this one snapped to very similarly in that regard. So very user-friendly here too. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 magnified coats. You could probably stop at 2 coats, but I found that 3rd coat plumped it up like a cream almost, and it gave me that most dramatic type of magnetic effect. I think those of you starting out with magnetics, the ones that you're seeing in this video, I think would work pretty well if you want to get started with these. This will dry down quite flat, so use a good glossy top coat. And the other part of the duo is Sinensis. This is a red gold Aurora pigment in a base with micro silver holographic glitters. This one's $13, capped at $200 if you choose to get it outside of the duo. Again, this is a duo, so I chose to show you all it with Wisteria. And I really wanted to make a blanket statement and make it clear. This topper is not magnetic. However, if you do anything over a magnetic polish on your nails, whether it's top coat or a topper like this, you'll need to remagnetize that layer. So just a friendly tip there. I thought this looked great with Wisteria, and of course it's an Aurora pigment topper, so over darker colors will work best. Rogue Lacquer Llama Face is a sandy tan base with gold, pink, orange shimmer. This one's $13.50 with no cap, and part of her Emperor's New Groove series. If you have tried any of Rogue's shimmer bombs in the past, this applies very much like that. They're very satisfying, very smooth, almost cream-like in how they apply. Very just wonderful and opaque. I'm going to suggest going up to 2 light to normal coats and a glossy top coat. This will dry down quite flat, so make sure you're using a thicker glossy top coat. Sassy Sauce, the wetter the better, is a shimmering reflective with holographic dust and blue-black UCC flakes. This one's $13.50, capped at $300, and it's part of her Shoes series. This has a jelly type of formula to it, but it builds up like a beautiful shimmer bomb. It is so pretty in person. There's a lot of that tiny type of reflective glitter going throughout it. So it will give you this shimmering type of glittery appearance. And then of course the shimmer is what's going to give you that opacity. Very, very nice, especially for toppering, as you'll see here in just a moment. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats, a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Victorian Varnish has a couple goodies for us this month. Celestial Clockwork is a multichromatic magnetic with a deep base that shifts pink, peach, gold, bronze, and when magnetized will shift over to blue to purple holographic Aurora flakes. This one's $14, capped at $300, and it's part of their Steampunk Unicorns series. Another very responsive magnetic polish. This one also had that very strong opacity going on with it. I'm going to suggest 2 coats. It also kind of flirted with being a 1-coater almost, but this is one of those that you'll definitely want to do at least 2 coats with. And you can see how plump and strong and magnetic in how it built up. I will suggest a glossy top coat of the thicker variety, as this will dry down with that metallic type of dry down. Victorian Varnish is back with another lavish hand and cuticle cream this month. This month's scent is in strawberry, raspberry, and pineapple with sugarcane and spun sugar and a base of vanilla and light hints of musk. This one's $8.50, capped at 50 of these little pump bottles. And to my nose, despite all the scent notes to this, I'm getting straight cotton candy, a very pleasant type of pink cotton candy is what I'm getting to my nose with a little bit of that vanilla. It is very pleasant. I dare say this is probably one of my favorite scents that I have reviewed from them in the last couple of months. I've been receiving these to test out. So if you like bakery scents, gourmand scents, and cotton candy, 10 out of 10 recommend grabbing this one. The pump bottles themselves are in 2 ounces, and these are intended for, hand cream, cuticle, all that good stuff. My hands have been so crusty lately, so any type of moisturizing is always a good example of what they can do. And lastly, for Victorian Varnish, we've got the Tincture, which is acetone additive. The first one is geared for sweets, and then we've got Serene Dreams. So both of them are very gourmand, so of course up my alley here. Serene Dreams has a fruity type of citrus base to it. It is very pleasant, and Geared for Sweets also has that very cotton candy type of scent to it. Now, you can use these in several different ways. The way I personally like to use them is I like the bottles like this that have the dropper on the inside of them. I put like 4 or 5. I mean, there's no real specific way to measure. Obviously, the more acetone additive you put, the more moisturizing you're going to get. So what this does is softens 100% pure acetone, and you can either do it in a pump bottle. I would say drop a whole vial, say in up to 8 ounces of pure acetone. I do have a pump bottle like that. I do reuse, but this is most commonly, since I haven't been polishing for myself in a hot minute, that I use for cleanup. So 4 to 5 drops in my dapping dish, and then I mix it with pure acetone. And as you'll see here, this is probably the best demonstration I can show you all. When you're using just straight acetone, I'm sure most of you know this at this point, you're going to get that ashy, real crusty type of dry down on your skin and your nail. It's not fun, and it's just dry. So when you add the acetone additive into your polish removal routine like this, it's basically going to leave your skin moisturized and a light scent left after however much acetone additive you put in your acetone. Wicked Polish, welcome to HHC. The Swing Ride is a blue jelly base with holographic and fun carnival colored glitters. This one's $13.50, capped at 100, and it's part of her new Carnival of Chaos series. The Swing Ride is a true jelly type of formula. I would classify this one as a sheer type of finish. Regardless if you have a free edge of a falsie or white opacity, I think you'll see that peekaboo effect, so be sure to use a blurring base if that bugs you. I would suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. I didn't have a whole lot of texture from this, and I was using my top coat, which probably needs to be thinned at this point. And we're going to wrap this up with the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. Arcana's looks really cool over black. I could see you getting creative with purples and blues. Art as Nails definitely passed the test too. Just be mindful of that tinted base. BCB is too opaque. That is not a problem, but I think you're wasting your time. The Cracked looked awesome over black. You might be able to do probably neutral types of grays. Both Cuticulas passed the test, but remember, these are also very tinted on their base colors, especially Trident of Neptune. The Dom would look beautiful over purples, burgundies, that sort of thing. Gin and Berries looks great over black, but I can't see it working any other way. The Lurid can do absolutely no harm in my eyes. This is so beautiful, but don't topper it. You're wasting your time and it's not doing it justice. The Nailed It is very much like the BCB. It's too opaque. Night Owl, I'm on the fence about this one. It kind of looked cool, but I can't see it working any other way. Pampered Polishes is a jelly, so to me, it's like an undie on an undie. Patty Lopez, the Turbulence Burning one looks really neat over black. I liked that one a lot. Giraffe over white as promised. You can see all the little tiny black flecks going throughout it. It is a topper, so of course it works. Wisteria is interesting over black if you wanted to vamp it out, maybe for like a Halloween look. Sinensis is a topper, again, so redundant. Llama Face is beautifully opaque, and this demonstrates that. Sassy sauce. I think you can get pretty creative with this. The base is not so tinted that I think it would interfere with a lot of undies. Victorian varnish is stunning over black. This one looked really cool. And the Wicked is a jelly. It's like an undie on an undie, just like the Pampered polishes. The site is currently open for shopping. Be sure to get in there and grab some goodies. I will link you all below to HHC's site if you want to immediately head on in there after this video. The site is going to go for pre-order from now through August 21st at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian time. I'll also link you to their Facebook group. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.